Tonight is the reveal for Vanquish Souls. This is a brand new archetype from the deck build pack, and let's get into it. So we have a total of 11 cards to go through, and they are based on level 4 and level 6, 7, and 8. For the deck, we have Warrior, Beast Warrior, and another type of monster, which is... we have Zombie, Dragon, Fiend. We just have types everywhere, and they are all based around Fire, Dark, and Earth. We have 2 Fires, 2 Earths, 2 Dark, and they have a Link 1 Dark, 2 Quick Plays, and 2 Traps. Also Tenki Replint, and also a Mikanko playmat, so keep an eye out on that you can get from the OCG. But let's get into the Vanquish Soul cards. And first off, we have Vanquish Soul Ryzen. This is a level 4 Fire Warrior, 1800 attack, 1500 defense. And you can only use each effect of this card once per turn and not in the same chain. So how this works, both effects are hard once per turn, but you cannot activate them in the same chain. So when this card is summoned, you add 1 non-warrior Vanquish Soul monster from your deck to your hand, which is a reinforcement of the army for the whole archetype. When this card is summoned, you can add 1 non-warrior Vanquish Soul monster from your deck to your hand. Select one of the... and then for the second effect, select one of the following attributes and reveal 1 monster with each attribute from your hand. And this is a quick effect. This card cannot be destroyed by effects this turn, and destroy all other monsters in this card's column. So this is a column mechanic card, and in my opinion, I will only get this for the Surge effect, and rarely for the second effect, most likely just going to reveal Fire. Next up, we have Vanquish Soul Paterina. It is a level 4 Earth Beast Warrior, 1700 attack, 1900 defense, and you can only use each effect of Pantera once per turn, and you cannot activate both of this card's effects in the same chain. The first effect is, if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. That's already very good, but it is a starter nonetheless, so you just special it out, and then you probably just link it away. But this is the exact same thing as Ryzen over here. Cannot be, but if you just reveal an Earth, it cannot be destroyed by battle this turn. But if you reveal an Earth and Fire, it destroys all spell and trap cards in this card's column. Column destruction, it's okay. Next up, we have Vanquish Souls Heavy Borger. It is a level 7, 2500 attack, 1500 defense machine. You can only use each effect of this card once per turn and not in the same chain. So they are all hard up, but during the main phase, you can target 1 non-machine Vanquish Soul monster you control. Quick effect, return that monster to the hand and special summon this card from your hand. And the second effect, select one of the following attributes and reveal 1 monster with each attribute from your hand. Quick effect, Dark, draw 1 card, Earth and Fire, deal 1500 damage to your opponent's life points. So if you reveal all 3, you get to draw 1 and burn your opponent for 1500. That is actually pretty interesting. Next up, which I think this should, is VS Dr. Mad Love. It is a level 4 Dark Fiend effect monster, 1200 attack, 2000 defense. You can only use each effect of this card's name once per turn, and you cannot activate both of these cards in the same chain, so they pretty much all share that effect. If this is normal or special summoned, you can add 1 Vanquish Soul spell or trap card from your deck to your hand. That's pretty useful for what the spells and traps are, and I give that a 10 out of 10. Next up, for the quick effect, you can activate one of these following effects by revealing the 1 monster's of each listed attribute. So if you reveal a Dark, 1 monster your opponent controls loses 500 attack. If you do in Dark and an Earth, return 1 monster in the field with the lowest defense, your choice of tied to the hand. This one I don't see being really played that much, but it is a spell and trap card searcher, so you're rarely using that second effect. Next up, we have Vanquish Soul Preton HG. It is a zombie level 6 fire, 0 attack and 0 defense. And during your opponent's turn, if you control no monsters in your main monster zone, or if you control only Vanquish Soul monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. I mean, I guess. Select one of the following attributes. So if you reveal fire, its defense becomes 3000, or if you reveal a dark and earth, you increase this card's attack by 3000 until the end of the turn. That's really good for blocking out some damage if you can. And it doesn't even matter what phase you're in, so that's pretty useful. Next up, we have the boss monster. This is Vanquish Soul Kaiser Varus. It is a level 8 Earth Dragon, 3000 attack and 1500 defense, and it does as following. During the main phase, quick effect, you can target one non-dragon Vanquish Soul monster you control, return it to the hand, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. Okay. Quick effect, you can activate one of the following effects by revealing one monster of each listed attribute below. If you reveal an Earth, this card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects. Earth, Fire, and Dark destroy one card on the field. So, non-targeting removal, but you need Earth, Fire, and Dark. In my opinion, it's alright. So far, the monsters are definitely lacking because you activate it and you have to declare which effect that you want. So far, it's not really worthwhile, but it definitely could lead to OTK status. Next up, we have Rock of Vanquisher. It is a Dark Link 1 that points down, 0 attack, and it is a Rock Link effect. It takes one Vanquish Soul monster. This card cannot be used as Link material, and you can only use its second effect once per turn. So wait, this is an Earth, so technically you could run this in Adamantipator. A small little Pantera, and your Vanquisher of Rocks. As long as you control a Vanquish Soul monsters, your opponent must attack your monsters with the highest attack. So they have to attack the dragons. During the main phase, you can activate one of the following effects. Quick effect, special summon one Vanquish Soul monster from your hand, or add one Vanquish Soul monster from your graveyard to your hand. So what you're telling me is that we're supposed to get back our big Kaiser or our heavy Borger back from the graveyard. So if we can get multiples of this out, we can bounce them back to the hand. But the target is cost. And it has to return. Oh my god, that's not that good. Next up, we have the Soul Dust Devil quick play spell. And you can only activate one of this per turn. Target one Vanquish Soul monster you control, change its battle position. Then you could change the face-up monsters your opponent controls face down defense position up to the number of Vanquished Soul monsters with different types you control. Well, we have 7 different types. So you can book them in up to 6 cards if you really want to. Next up, we have Soul Continue. It's another quick play spell. And you can only activate one copy of this card per turn. Pay 500 life points and target one Vanquished Soul monster in your graveyard. Either add it to your hand or special summon it in defense. So what you're telling me is you summon out one of your level 4s. Your spell trap card searcher or your monster searcher. Get the search, link it away, so you have this out, then reborn that. I mean, okay. Next up we have Vanquish Soul Trinity Burst. This is a normal trap card, and oh my lord. That art is really, really messy. You can only activate one Vanquish Soul Trinity Burst per turn. Target one Vanquish Soul monster you control. Special summon up to 2 Vanquish Soul monsters from your hand with different original attributes from that monster with and with different names from each other. But they're returned to the hand during the end phase. Then you can return all cards your opponent controls in the same column as the targeted monsters and special summoned monsters. What? So you target the one, special summon two. They then return them to the hand at the end phase. Then all your opponent's cards in the same column. I hate column mechanics. But it is an interesting deck. Next up, we have VS Soul Calamity Kaiser. This is their counter trap card. You can only activate one copy of this card per turn. If your opponent activates a monster effect or a spell or trap card effect that targets a card you control while you control a Vanquish Soul monster, you can negate that activation and destroy that card. Then you can deal damage to your opponent equal to the attack of one Vanquish Soul monster you control. Why does it have to target? I was so hyped for the deck because Kaiser looked so cool. But now I'm kind of bummed out. Like Konami. This art looks so cool, but column mechanic dealing with attributes, that's the last thing I wanted to see in a deck build set. But I want to know what you guys think about this archetype. In my opinion, it is going to be the lesser of the three. I guess I'm just going Nubils for this. Or Nullabils. But anyways, I've been Volt Spider. See you guys in the next video, and goodbye.